Ambush the game. Gun violence. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you. It has already been proven that there are more guns in the United States than there are people.
Damn.
So yes, that's a fact.
Oh.
So so that means that there are over 350 million guns. Over. I think the U.S. population is about 355, 360 million Americans. And we have more guns than we have people. So off the top, I think we have too many guns. Now, having said that, I am one of the people that contributes to that number. I have a lot of guns. So I am not a person here that's going to talk to you about the Second Amendment or anything like that. I'm not even here on that. Mm-hmm. But as a person with common sense, I think we have a gun problem.
Gotcha.
I can also tell you that none of my guns have ever just gone off by themselves. But yeah. I don't buy the argument that there's a mental health problem. I think that that's just a nice cover. Mm-hmm. I don't think there was anything wrong with that kid that went off in that store in Buffalo and killed those people. He didn't have a mental health problem, but I heard that a lot of media sites pop up that, we need to do something with mental health. I don't think we have a mental health issue.
Oh, okay.
We are sick. We are sick because the country, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, we are split with what we think or have been told makes you a red-blooded, flag-toting American. That's guns. Guns make you that.
Yeah.
Coupled with the fact that money seems to be the only motivator. So those that have it are few, and those of us that are working class are the many.
Good point.
When you have a large majority of working class down to being poor with guns, what do you think the next thing is going to happen? It's going to be more shooting.
That's right.
Because somebody has in their hand what they consider an equalizer. They have a way of taking their frustration out. They can take it out on their bosses, their place of employment, co-workers. They can take it out on a race of people.
Yes.
They can take it out on a religious group. They can take it out on people of a certain sexual preference.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how we're sick.
Gotcha.
Then that's overall. That's my overview. That applies across the board. Then there's what comes with being in the black community, which is a higher rate of poverty.
Yeah.
But with the same access to those guns. Right? So poverty, coupled with lack of education, coupled with inner city living, equals more gun violence.
Yeah.
With a sprinkling of gangster rap music. I know y'all don't want to hear it.
Okay.
I know y'all don't want to hear that. But you have to acknowledge, even if you don't agree, you have to acknowledge that predominantly on urban radio, they got two topics with the music. One topic is sex. And the other topic is shooting and killing. Gangster rap.
Just like that.
If you think that those things do not play a part, that music does not play a part in this gun culture that we seem to have in the African American community, I would disagree with you strongly. What say you, Vic?
I have to say, let's just look at what makes sense. That's all I'm about right now. If I'm listening to rap music and it's promoting violence, sex, money, to a certain degree, I think the shit is make-believe. But the reality on the streets, the kids or young adults mimic that. Even to a certain degree, I would say mature people. You cannot overlook input versus output. If I was some kind of fucking mathematical genius, I probably would be doing something with math, science, and different stuff like that. So that would be my output. If I'm listening to fucking gangster music all day long, I'm not running for mayor.
Probably.
You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
So most likely, if it's telling me to shoot somebody, fuck hoes, kiss my ass or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's what you're being promoted, and that's your input. So your output is not gonna be fucking going to a nursing home, making sure Miss Ann go outside and see the sun today. You're gonna probably go find a fucking gun. You're gonna be waiting for some shit to jump off, and even if ain't nothing jumping off, you went to the club with your gun. You listen to the same fucking music, and you're drinking alcohol, and you find a fucking reason to have an altercation. You think it's your choice, but I beg to differ. It's like a spell.
Yeah.
And you've been listening to this music for years. You cannot tell me after the fact that you just decided I'm gonna shoot the shit out of somebody when I could have said, hey man, look, I got children at home. I want to see my daughter raised, and I hope you make it home safe. Sure, you stepped on my shoes, but it's gonna be all right. So I can wipe them off.
So what do you think? I agree. I agree with that. What do you think about the social economic standpoint of it, as far as us largely being poor?
I don't live as a rich person, and I do think that they have issues due to the fact that they're human beings. But a person that has certain things, I don't see me being rich deciding on shooting every fucking body I have a disagreement with, because I got something to lose.
Yeah, you got a lot to lose.
Yeah.
And besides, if you had money, you could leave that set of circumstances.
That's right. And get away from around the homies or the thug dudes, because if I stay around them, I may be a fucking victim.
Yeah, you're probably gonna be a victim of the same guys you're hanging around.
That's right. I mean, we can speak of rappers, definitely fucking rappers, that have been deleted due to the fact that they stayed in the hood with good intentions or not. They stayed in a situation where the streets dictate how the outcome is going to be. And the streets do not discriminate. It's negative shit in the streets, so it's going to be a negative outcome most of the time.
Yeah.
And we fall victim to that all the time. And if we act like if you don't stick with that shit, it's like you're special. You know, you weird or whatever the fuck we do to try to punk each other to be a part of that. There's a movie called Juice. It's Tupac and some more actors. Yeah. So Tupac had this fascination of having a gun, trying to be hard, and he was going around finding reasons or slipping up, killing people. And when his partners, which was his best friends, didn't kind of condone that, started calling this nigga scared, this motherfucker scared. That shit right there is hood talk. That's street talk to make you believe if you don't follow the same code, something wrong with you. When the truth is, if you're going out here doing violence and shit that you don't have to do, then it's something fucking wrong with you.
Yeah. I think for sure the poverty mindset plays into it. It opens the door for circumstances that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
You got to, when you don't have options financially or socially, you find a pecking order that's based on some other things, usually a gangster lifestyle or something like that.
Yeah.
I think this is why you can take a black community, largely part of town, and cross the tracks, as they say, go to the other side of the tracks with the same age group of people of another color and not have the same level of violence.
True.
They have seemingly more to lose. That's whereas we have embraced a certain culture that makes us think that we're in the wild, wild west and we're ruled by the gun.
Yeah.
So I think poverty plays a big role in it.
It does.
I also think that the movie industry plays a role in it.
Yes.
I told you previously that we did 2 types of music. Well, I also hold the same opinion about the movie industry as it relates to black movies.
Yeah.
Or movies targeted towards us.
Yeah.
There's gonna be Pookie just got out of jail and the man holding him down movie.
Yeah.
He just need one more shot.
Yeah.
He gonna make good on this one last deal.
Yeah.
And it's gonna move us out the hood.
Yeah, that's terrible.
We do that movie, and then we do the romantic love story for the black women. We got gangster movies for the black men. You guys all know the shows. I ain't got to call the name of the shows. So I'm thinking the 5 shows right now that they all have basically the same theme.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole host of hundreds of movies dedicated to the black woman, and they're all about relationships and sex.
Yeah.
You know, and cheating and carrying on. So it's like we're being fed the same content, audio and visual.
Yeah.
It's a reinforcement of dumb shit.
Yeah.
Just my opinion. That lends itself to gun violence in our culture. Now, gun violence in our culture is usually, as they call it, black on black crime. I've heard people argue that there's no such thing as black on black crime, but that's what they call it, black on black crime.
Yeah.
Whereas in the greater community of America and Americans, it's mass shootings.
Yeah.
Either way, there are too many guns, and there's too many Americans struggling to make it. The bar has been set so high financially, or where you need to be just to maintain, that you can't just get away.
Yeah.
You can't just move out of a situation and go somewhere else because it takes so much to do it. So most of us are having to live in it and be in it and try to function in it without going over the edge.
Yeah.
And I think that situation, that scenario is times 10 when you get in the urban areas.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes it where we have more black men killing each other, and then we have more white men committing mass murder.
Yeah.
In schools and grocery stores and churches.
Yeah.
Bottom line is, there's too many guns. I don't know what the fix is. I'm not advocating for
taking everybody gun.
No, but I think there should be some common ground to where it doesn't matter your affiliation politically, Democrat or Republican, or if you're a Second Amendment guru, a God-fearing. I think there's some common ground that could be said that, hey, this particular gun, this particular type of weapon should not be had by civilians. I think that's an easy thing.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I can't say exactly, and and I'm just gonna go and put it out there. I don't own a gun, so I'm 51 years old and I've never owned a gun. So I'm not even against guns, because I think everybody has a right to protect themselves. There has not been one fucking day in my life that I was able to call the police and they showed up when you need them. They ain't fucking Superman. So the truth is, if you're in a situation and you can afford or get you a gun and want a gun, you should have it. I think because our society is kind of violence based, it promotes a lot of negative shit. And yeah, like you said, we got a lot of people that don't have money. So all of those things play a role. I don't want to take the rights from regular people that need to protect themselves, because if you look at it honestly, if I don't have a ranch or land to go on that I could protect, I'm in the hood around a lot of goddamn people that shit pops off. So if it pops off and I have to physically protect myself, I'm good. But if these people are gonna run and grab a gun, then I'm gonna be at a disadvantage. So I can't call the police. They're not gonna get there fast enough. So the only way to make it even is to have something to protect myself. And I think that's right for any person, because if you're around enough people that result to killing you, whatever the situation is, then you want to protect yourself, because nobody wants to leave here just because of the fact that they say, hey, look, I didn't want to kill nobody and they came with a gun. You're going to pull your shit. You're going to protect yourself, however it ends up.
Yeah. Now, let me back up and ask you this. You said you believe that everybody should have the right to have a gun.
Mm-hmm.
How many?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you.
Or what type?
If I'm going to be honest, it's a funny thing to say. I can't speak on, and I don't want to speak on, what guns they should have and they shouldn't have, because if you can afford it and you have the right, then I can't tell you what you should have and shouldn't have.
So I kind of agree, but I can see where there's some guns some guns and some accessories I think that civilians shouldn't have.
Yeah, but what you're looking at when it comes to that is trying to slow down the violence. I think the violence would still be the same if they had to use fucking butter knives, you know? So if we start promoting violence, it would help, to me, more than having 6 guns compared to having 1. Because let's say I'm in the hood. I get to arguing with John. John has 3 cousins live in the hood too. He go tell them it's an altercation with me. All 4 of them come with guns. I got 1 gun. All 4 of them got 1 gun. I'm already outnumbered. So if I got something that would equalize that, which is going to be an automatic weapon, then my odds are greater. Because there's videos out here where people have smashed into people's houses and there was 1 guy in there and there's 5 guys jump out the car. When he pulled that damn AR out, them guys went the other way.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to say that's the case for every situation, because if you got a fucking nutcake that has that gun, then there's more people he can kill. I just, we all want...
You gonna take the good with the bad.
Well, I don't know what choice we have. I mean, if the answer was taking away a certain amount of guns or certain guns, okay, I'm with it. Because the bottom line is we want to stop the senseless violence. You know what I'm saying? The senseless violence can be just 1 guy with 1 gun decide he gonna shoot somebody else because he fucking got his panties in a bunch, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's senseless violence too, bro. You met a guy at a service station, you said something to him, he said something to you, and your first thought is, I'm gonna go to my gun and kill this guy. Get in your fucking car and take your ass on about your business. You know?
Yeah.
So if we can get people to adopt, I can't even hardly talk, adopt the fact that you don't have to make those stupid decisions, because once you get through shooting this guy, he's dead on the ground. Another fucking news article that say 6, 10, 15 people got killed this weekend. Your ass sitting in prison. And I'm quite sure when you're sitting in there, you can come up with all kinds of fucking reasons why you should have not killed this guy. Because every situation ain't, I gotta shoot him before he shoot me. Some of it is pussy guys, pussy women that grab their gun because they know they got one. I'm gonna shoot this motherfucker.
Yeah. I still think that there are some guns that should possibly be, and not just guns, accessories, right?
Yeah.
I can see the fun in having a 100-round magazine, for example.
Yeah.
I can't see the practicality of it.
Gotcha.
Okay, I can't see a reason why, and I know that these are not legal for everybody, but like a silencer.
Yeah.
I can't see why. You imagine how many things could be done if you could walk in a gun store and buy a silencer. You know how many folks you can knock off?
I agree 100%. I agree 100% with that one.
Okay, so there's some accessories and guns that I think
should be available for the public.
But I don't think that we should be able to just justify it because we have a gun culture. I believe you are right.
Okay.
That we do have a gun culture, so therefore guns are prevalent, right?
Yeah.
A lot. So there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I have a lot of them.
Yeah.
But am I willing to say, hey, wait a minute, I want to take a look at this? You know, now I don't want anybody to come in and collect what I've already paid for and worked for.
Yeah.
Those are mine.
Yeah.
Right? But I still believe that we could find some common ground somewhere to address something.
Yeah.
Even if it's not removing any guns, but let's at least agree that the corporations shouldn't be able to buy politicians to keep even a conversation from being had about gun violence.
Okay.
Let's quit bullshitting like it's not happening at an accelerated pace now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hell, we just had another church shooting here in our city.
Yeah.
You know?
And as far as I know, that's the first one I've heard of if they're labeling it multiple shootings ever in my life. And it has come home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I want to say there was something else, but I'm going to have to think about that one. But there's no place that's safe.
That's true.
And like I said before, the access to the guns is too easy. Maybe that's a start, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm not for taking anybody's gun rights away, but I am saying that we can't even have a discussion about it before it comes super partisan.
Yeah.
And it's derailed. As soon as something happens, the Democrats jump out the window and start talking about gun control.
Yeah.
The Republicans fire back with, you need somebody else that got a gun that can stop the shooter.
Yeah.
They're both wrong. Or to some, they're both right.
Yeah.
Where are the adults in the room that can hold a conversation about just the facts?
Yeah.
There is no way those kids down there in Texas should be part of a political
That's right.
argument.
I agree 100%.
They're kids.
Yeah.
They are kids. I don't want to hear anything about mental illness if it's not truly a mental illness situation.
Yeah.
Because I think in that case, he bought that AR legally.
Okay.
At what? He's 18?
Yes.
Okay, so what if he couldn't get it at 18?
And then he have armor shit.
I think he had armor too, yeah.
So we gonna say that he mentally ill, but he know how to fucking prepare himself.
He know how to, yeah.
Okay, all right then.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, politics is terrible.
We don't want to address the situation as adults. We address it depending on what faction we claim.
Yeah.
What political party we claim, and we just don't deal with the situation as they are.
And who gonna write a check?
And who gonna write? Yeah. So, I mean, and then there's that, and then we deal with the extra because we're in the urban areas where we may not have the mass shootings or a mass shooting, but we have to deal with more gun violence, period.
That's right.
So we're fighting it on two fronts, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, I don't shoot my guns on a regular basis. I'm not out in the woods at the target range, but I do know how to shoot, but I also have to make sure that I keep one on me because I don't trust anything or anybody. And now with this rise in gun violence overall in the black community, urban community, whatever you want to call it, and then nationwide with the rise of these hate groups, I have to keep it on me. Now I'm having to at least keep an AR loaded because I don't know if it's gonna be the guy down the street that's talking about some J's, or which I don't wear, or the white guy hate me just because of my skin.
Yeah.
And he may have the whole dress out like he going to Afghanistan or something.
Yeah.
So what do? Do I put mine up because I want to see less violence and then also be violated by the same rules that I'm trying to
protect?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's my take on that. There's too much gun violence. There are too many guns, and there seems to be no way to stop it because we are a gun culture. As Vic said earlier, we are heavily gun related. And I also agree that if you took the guns away, we would find other ways to murder each other. 100%. But the thing that I will argue is that maybe not at the same clip.
Agreed.
So if a guy can walk in and kill 10 people with an assault rifle, how many could he legitimately kill if he just had a knife?
True.
Probably not 10.
Probably not 10.
Yeah. Okay, so cause somebody gonna be on that ass. There, more people would take a chance if you had something other than an assault rifle.
That's right.
So that's my take on that. You good?
Yeah, I don't think I got anything else to add. I just wish that the life that we live, that people would find more peace in their life. Understand that we got some issues and address them within themselves, because you do have choices. And when you accept that, you can make different decisions. And we need to slow down some of the things that are not helping us. I know it's promoted, but just like I've said to younger guys getting older, just because you're from the hood don't mean you are hood. So that means that you could come from a place and go somewhere else, even if you're still there mentally.
Yeah, I agree. That's it. That's my gun take. We got to find a way to, I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm going to say it because I think it needs to be said.
Wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking, right? We got to find a way to stem the violence, man, across the board. In the city, outside of the city, nationwide, we got to find a way to do better. I think it is not necessarily the guns, but it's a healing. We're hurting, we're damaged, and the gun seems to be the tool that people can fall back on easily to get get right. That is not the answer. Let's do better, or at least try to. Ambush the game.